Good evening, my friends. Today, I just want to share out of Genesis 47. For some reason, I have this highlighted, but I don't remember sharing it. And I'm going to share it again just in case I haven't. I just want to be clear. Just want to be clear about this point. Genesis 47, verses 8 and 9. It says, And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old are you? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And I just have to talk about what Jacob is saying. I mean, what we've seen happen to Jacob in his life. It's interesting to me whenever I'm tempted to think that I suffer, or besides Job's another extreme example, but Jacob is extremely, very much overlooked as a person who suffered, and the Lord's been showing me just how much that Jacob suffered, and then we look at his response to Pharaoh here, and he says, "Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been." And they haven't attained to the days of the life of my fathers. Like my fathers even had more evil days than I did. So there's something to say about that, especially whenever we consider our faith. And Jacob, first of all, he had, the competition with his brother. His father loved his brother more than him, and then he had to, gain deceitfully the birthright. And then he has to run away from his brother because his brother's going to kill him because of what he did. And then he goes to Laban's house and he works for 7 years for a wife. And then Laban switches out the daughters and gives him a different daughter than he had worked for. And then he wakes up the next morning, realizes that he's been duped, and has to work another 7 years for the wife that he wanted in the first place. And then after he does that, then Laban has him work for his flock and has him name his price, and he said, and whenever he names his price, then he takes all the animals out of the flock that were supposed to be Jacob's, and sets 3 days journey between them, and then changes his wages 10 times, and then after 6 years of Jacob working for flocks, then he finally leaves. And when he's on his way, his brother is, coming out to kill him. And then which, maybe not to kill him, but either that or the Lord had mercy on him and changed Esau's heart. But then he wrestles with an angel, or with the Lord, and then his socket's put out of joint. And then, after all this, his wife Rachel dies in labor to Benjamin. Then, and Reuben sleeps with his concubine and defiles his couch. And then his daughter Dinah is raped by what's his name. And then two of his sons, Levi and Simeon, go and kill and slaughter an entire town after they deceive them and talk them into being circumcised. Oh, what else happened? And then, after his daughter's raped, oh yeah, that's right. And then, his son sold his favorite son into slavery. And he thought that his son was killed by a wild beast. And God allowed him to think that his son was dead for over 20 years. So, yeah. So few and evil were his days and his pilgrimage on the earth. Okay? And I just, I don't know. Doesn't say anything really good for the prosperity gospel. I don't think this is what we need to understand. This is a pilgrimage. Okay? This is not our home. This is not where we belong. It didn't even belong to them, like who were of the covenant that was supposedly only about earthly blessings. Even they suffered in this world and in this earth. Jacob and Abraham, the people who were supposedly under the covenant that was supposed to bring earthly blessing and earthly good, they suffered severely in this world. So I don't think that we should think that we shall escape any type of suffering, especially when Jesus says, uh, in the world you will have tribulation, but be of good courage, for I have overcome the world. That is our lot in this world. This is the wilderness of sin. This is the place of wanderings. But but it's okay, because the promised land is coming, and it's just not here. This is not the promised land. This is a pilgrimage, and our home is a heavenly place where we will never suffer nor sorrow ever again. And we just need to understand that there is something that we need to learn from sorrow, that we have to learn in this life before we transition. And this is the place where we learn that lesson. And it's okay. And God is amazing in wisdom and mercy and compassion. And He won't ever put anything on us more than we can bear. But we can expect, probably, as Jacob professes here, that few and evil will the days of our life be here in this pilgrimage. Amen.